WWE Tag Team Championship 6-pack TLC match. The match consisted of the Wyatts, 6, defending their championships, consisting of Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, versus DIY, consisting of Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, versus the Street Profits, consisting of Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, versus Faxium, consisting of Axiom and Nathan Frazier, versus Motor City Machine Guns, consisting of Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, versus Andrade and Ray Phoenix. Ooh, that was a mouthful to say. And man, oh man, this match was crazy. So I'm gonna try my best. I was trying to take the notes, but yeah, this match was crazy. So before the match gets started, we get Bubba Ray Dudley and Devon Dudley, of course, being the Dudley Boys, and Matt and Jeff, the Hardy Boys, who are there in honor of the 25th anniversary of the first TLC match back at SummerSlam 2000. Man, I remember I was a kid watching that. That match was fantastic. Awesome stuff. And it's cool to see the tradition continuing here. Obviously, if Edge and Christian weren't in AEW, we'd be seeing them here too as well. Yeah, it's times like this where I wish that the companies could work together, because it would have been awesome to see Edge and Christian out there as well. That being said, all the teams, they just start getting right at it, just batting off, like boom, boom with their fists and everything. So as far as the highlights, and this is what I was able to get down from my notes, the Street Profits do a double backdrop to Joe Gacy, but miss a ladder that's leaning towards the ropes. And when they realize Joe Gacy missed it, Montez Ford, he's like, oh no, we doing this. So he goes out of the ring, throws Joe Gacy back in there, and they do the double backdrop again. And this time Joe Gacy falls on the ladder, and he's like bouncing off the ladder again, and then finally slides down. Even Wade Barrett on commentary was trying to say, I think it worked out for him in his favor the first time when they missed. So that was really good. So the Street Profits, they do the whole get the table spot, and and the camera switches over to the Dudley Boys, and Bubba Ray Dudley and Devon are just clapping, having a good time, seeing their taunting being used in the match, and stuff like that. So the Street Profits, they break out more tributes, this time to Eddie Guerrero, and that wouldn't be the first time we see Eddie Guerrero on the show in terms of tributes going on. They do a double Three Amigos at one point, and I forget who it was, either Tommaso Ciampa or Johnny Gargano, but one of them throw Montez over the table, leaning towards the corner of the ring, but Montez in midair turns it into like a swanton bomb onto all the competitors outside. Just sick stuff, man. I can't give Montez Ford's athleticism enough praise, man. DDT, then there's a DDT through the table. Okay, so yeah, this was really hard to keep up with, and you got to see the match for yourself. But the wrestlers, they all do this sequence where each of them, from every corner of the ring, there's a table. We see a DDT through the table. Then we see a leg drop through the table, then a frog splash through the table, and then finally a Spanish fly through the table. The fans were going crazy. I was like, holy crap, like, man, this was insane. Really cool spot just going on right after another. Like, man, that was insane. Then we're getting basically where the women start getting involved, and it's kind of remind me, if you all remember TLC 2 back at WrestleMania 17, you had all the different all the allies, Spike Dudley for the Dudley Boys, Rhino for Edge and Christian, and of course Lita for for the Hardys, and they were all getting involved, and that's kind of what we had here. So all the ladies, basically, they're climbing on the ladder, and they're doing their respect, trying to get the championships down for their respective teams, but they all end up going off the ladder. But the craziest spot comes when Candice LeRae is on a 20-foot ladder trying to grab the titles for DIY, and I forget who ends up pushing. I think it was Tommaso Ciampa into Johnny Gargano, and Johnny Gargano accidentally ends up pushing the ladder forward, and Candice LeRae, his wife, goes crashing 20 feet off the ladder through another ladder that breaks in half. Man, if you had Jim Ross on the commentary, he'd be like, by God, she's broken in half. Man, fans are going crazy. 6 spot, and Candice LeRae, though I didn't follow her heavily on the independent scene, I have seen highlights, and man, that woman absolutely had some bloody matches and stuff, and she's hardcore like that. So yeah, Candice LeRae very much could take it. So I'm pretty sure she was glad to be able to take that spot in the match. So from here, at one point, the guy with the mask, I think it was, in Faxium, or no, it may have been, was it Nathan Frazier? I forget which one. I'm trying to keep up with all these and remember the team names. Tries to go for an edge-like spear off the top of the ladder to Tommaso Ciampa, of course, being that famous spot going back to WrestleMania 17, where Edge jumps off of the ladder and nails Jeff Hardy, and they just go straight down 20 feet to the canvas. They're trying to recreate this, except I forget which member it was of Faxium, they go flying, and Tommaso Ciampa, the way he does it, the best way I can describe it, he basically uses his core strength to basically lift his whole lower body up, and he's like doing something like Spider-Man in the air and everything, and he's hanging, and so the Faxium guy goes crashing and burning, and he gets taken out by Johnny Gargano doing the kicks, and Tommaso Ciampa is then able to let his body go down. Just crazy core strength, and the fans just looking this. I stood up out of my seat in my living room, and I had to applaud him. Like, that was great. And it was so cool to see. We've never seen that type of counter, and there's been so much done in these ladder matches over the years, especially with, I mean, if you go back 25 years ago, what Edge and Christian and the Dudleys and the Hardys were doing, man, they were really reinventing the ladder match at that point. And we've had so many since then, so much profit, these guys coming up with new innovative spots we've never seen. And of course, so from there, when he pulls down, he's able to get his legs out of the air, and he's able to get back onto the ladder from there. And stuff, and like I said, I gave that extending ovation. Now, at one point, DIY goes crashing through about 3 to 4 tables. I think the last table didn't break, but man, they go outside the ladder because Uncle Howdy gets involved and pushes them over it. And then after this, all 6 teams are cleared of the ring, and you've got from the Wyatt 6, I believe it was Dexter Lumis. He's like looking, making sure nobody's coming in. Joe Gacy, Joe Gacy goes up to the top of the ladder and successfully pulls down the tag team titles to secure the win, and thus the Wyatt Six remain the WWE Tag Team Champions. I can guarantee you all this when I do my live stream to rank these matches. This match is finding its way easily, has to be in my top 5, easily probably going to be top, maybe even top 3. It's going to rank high. Man, insane TLC match. You know, I grew up watching those old TLC matches with the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian, and much respect to those guys and what they did back then. And here, I think what we've seen is the involvement, the level of athleticism from today's athletes are just on a whole other level than what it was from those guys. And I think that's great, because it's nice to know that, hey, those guys, they did great in their time and they reinvented and created something that is timeless. But now to see these tag teams come in here and just reinvent that and make it like it is going to go down as one of the greatest TLC matches, one of the most craziest things ever. It was so good. They had a replay showing you just how all the different commentators all the commentators in the different languages were speaking, man. So it was like crazy. And so I thought that was absolutely awesome and phenomenal. Just fantastic ladder match. I really loved it. Hats off to all these guys, man. And thankfully it was on the card for SummerSlam, because they left the last TLC match off for WrestleMania, which was insane to me. So I'm glad these guys got to shine here. Tag team division is going strong. But that being said, I hope Triple H is done with this whole all tag teams on the roster feuding. I like to see the tag teams. You have 2 teams that are feuding, or you have one set of group of teams going against one another. Like, split these tag team feuds into different own separate programs, and I think it'll be really good, because there's no need to constantly just have them all involved and stuff like that together. I think we can get some separate. The tag team division is very strong on SmackDown. Separate them up now and everything, and put some good stuff in there. All right, so our next match was